All right, folks. Mark here, cooking books, bringing info. So, in this video, I want to talk. I want to talk to you guys about the ABCs of meditating, the benefits of meditation, and how to approach it. So, real quick. So, I've been meditating now since 2016. I can say I've been meditating consistently for the last 3 years. With one caveat, I have taken 1 month off. 1 month off in the last 3 years. I've been meditating from 2016 till today, consecutively and consistently every single day, with the exception of 1 month. That 1 month was just a very difficult month where I lost my focus for 30 days, but I got back on the wagon. I fell off the wagon for a month and I got right back on. So with the exception of 1 month, I've been meditating since 2016 up until today. I just finished my meditation, by the way, and got the inspiration to do this video about meditation. So, and I'm going to take my time with this. I want to give you guys as much info as possible, and the nutrients and the beneficial nutrients of why it is imperative and absolutely necessary for us to engage in some form of meditation. Meditation is a medication. I'll say it again. Meditation is medication. And that's why the two words sound so similar. Meditation and medication. It's the C and the T that makes the difference. So here's the thing. I started meditating in 2016, and when I started off with I think I started with 5 minutes. I started with 5 minutes and reading about meditation. Obviously, I was doing some reading and researching, and the 5 minutes was extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. I don't even think I got through the full 5 minutes. Then I gradually increased as time went on from 5 to 10, 15. I did an increment of 5 until I got up to 20 minutes. And this was in 2016. Today, I'm up to the most I've done is 7 hours, right? And that's not every day. I've done 7 hours once. On a regular, I do 1 hour consistently. I do 2 hours when I really feel a breakthrough, if you will. I time myself. I have my clock, my timer to alert me. And I would say, yeah. So the most I've ever done, though, is 7 hours, a full day, pretty much, almost a full work day. And that was just once in the 3-year duration, and I do on average 1 hour every day, and then again, like I said, when there's some breakthrough, I'll do 2 hours. When I'm having a breakthrough. Why do I use the word breakthrough? Here's why. When you first start to meditate, well, before I go into the process and the progress of meditating, let's talk about some of the benefits. It's been found, right? And you can go research this stuff, that meditation is an elixir or a panacea, which just means a cure or a remedy for anxiety. If you're a person who is extremely anxious, meditation helps to calm, right? To put you in that state of calmness, to calm your nerves, put you in some kind of more relaxed kind of a state, and putting you in a calmer state, because that's what meditation does. Essentially, it calms your brain waves. You put your brain waves in a slower state. In so doing, that carries over into reduction of blood pressure, reduction of cortisol. Cortisol is the hormone that is secreted for stress. For when you fight or flight. So it reduces the cortisol secretion. It reduces your blood pressure by calming you down. And so doing, it also brings down your stress levels, right? So it has benefits in that medical sense on your biology. So there's a biological benefit in terms of health. Also, in meditating, in terms of your biology, it allows the brain to secrete particularly serotonin, right? which is a relaxer also, a chemical that makes you feel well and overall mood. It balances out your mood, so it's beneficial there. Also, now going into the spiritual aspect, it also decalcifies what's called the pineal gland. And the pineal gland secretes DMT, the methyltryptamine, which is a chemical that allows you to have like some kind of, how can you put it? I don't want to say out of body experience, but it allows you to tap into the other dimensions, if you will. You know, this is called DMT. Also, it activates the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which is a nucleus right between the brow of the eyes. You know, these are more spiritual, right? And biological, because the pineal gland, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, is parts of the brain. So you activate these different regions of the brain that has been calcified over the years by fluoride and toothpaste and the water that we drink and the pollutants that's in the air and the foods that we eat. And, you know, so over the years, we're constantly breaking ourselves down biologically, not just with diets, but like I said, the air that we breathe, the pollutants, the toxins that's in the air that we're constantly taking in. So meditation is a way to reverse that, or reverse that engineering, if you will. So meditation has that there's that aspect of meditation, right? On your biology, on your physical, as well as on your mental. Also, meditation is good for the mental health, just your overall mental health, to be able to calm the mind. As I talked about the calming effect that it has, it also has that effect on your thinking. So a lot of people worry, have a lot of worrying thoughts that keep you up at night. So meditation helps to calm the thinking mind. It helps to calm down the overthinking, if you will. And in so doing, that reduces what's called insomnia. And, you know, the things I'm talking about here, folks, you might not think it's important, but there are people, I believe there's a survey or something that I read that said like 80 or some 85 in 90s, like it's a very exponential. It's a high number, very high. I think it was like in the 80s of people who suffer from insomnia, right? On a national scale. That's a lot of people. You know, there's 330 million people, I believe, in the country. And you're saying that 80% of the people in the country suffer from insomnia. I believe, don't quote me on the exact number, but whatever that number was, I believe it was in the mid 80s or something like that. But it's a very high number, astronomically high number of people that can't sleep as a result of insomnia. And these people are given all different kind of medication or drugs to allow them to sleep, right? Over-the-counter stuff that you can buy. You know, people buy all these different medication to sleep. And it's a real issue. It's a real issue. I've done it. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I've bought stuff to put me to, whether it's a NyQuil or something, to put me to sleep in times past. But over the last 2 years of doing meditation, I found that insomnia no longer has that grip. I'm actually a patient of my own, of my own practice here, my own techniques and methods. So I've actually seen it work, right? Because I've practiced, experimented on myself. Meditation has allowed me to fall asleep so much better, faster, easier, and not be kept awake wrestling with those thoughts and the insomnia. So meditation has been shown to help with sleep as well. So there's many, that's just there's a myriad of benefits. I just gave you guys a few. Now, let's go into the practicality of meditation, how to actually meditate. Again, this video is going to be called the ABCs of meditation. How do you meditate? Okay, so here's the thing. Once you begin, right, you set up, the first thing you want to do is pick a space where you won't be disturbed, right? I like to go in the bathroom. Nobody's, I lock the door, complete darkness and silence. That's where I just feel I'm in my zone, right? Wherever you want to go, wherever you feel comfortable, pick a spot where no one's going to bother you and you can have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever amount of time you want. And you get like your phone and you set your timer for that time frame, right? That's the first thing. So find a place where you feel that you won't be bothered. Uh, Next thing you want to do, once you find somewhere that you can isolate yourself, the next thing you want to do is all right, you're doing 5 minutes. The first thing you want to do is just relax the muscles in your face. Focus, like if you're in your 5 minutes meditation, focus on the muscles in your face. Relax the muscles in your face. Relax the muscles in around your mouth, your eyes. You'll feel the relaxation in your face. Then you want to focus on your hands, your toes, your entire body. Just focus on your whole body relaxing, right? You just want to relax your whole body. Oh, wait. Let me go back. Before all of that, what you want to do is you want to have a mantra or an affirmation, right? Your I am or your mantra, whatever you want to conjure up, whatever you want to invoke, convertate, whatever you want to. If it's something that you want to become better at, if you're it can be anything. It could be business, it could be personal, it could be financial, it could be spiritual, it could be secular, whatever it is that you want to become better at or improve. We talked about insomnia. If you wanna do a affirmation of I am falling asleep at night faster. I am getting great sleep. I'm sleeping wonderfully at night. I mean, I'm being facetious, but you see my point. We all know this is unique to the person. Everyone has their own unique wants, desires, and or needs. So you know what it is that you want, you need, you desire to improve who you are as a person. Because this is all about self-development. So you pick a mantra, you pick a affirmation, and you might you want to sit down before your meditation, take a few minutes, think about what it is you want, and write out your affirmation. And then once you have your affirmation and you enter into your space, you want to quote that affirmation. You want to do it inaudible. Just focus on don't do audible first. Focus on inaudible. You want to do it within your mind. Just say, I am fill in the missing blank, right? Your affirmation. So you quote your affirmation and you want to say it over and over and over and over. Now here's what's going to happen. So your affirmation is I am, let's say it's a business affirmation. I am improving be specific. I am generating $1 million this year, right? I am manifesting $1 million by January of 2020, right? Be as specific as possible. I am manifesting $1 million January 2020. Be specific. I am manifesting $1 million June 2020. I am manifesting $1 million June 2020. That's a business affirmation. That's a financial affirmation. Again, it's to your needs. If you're a person who's depressed, I am happy. I am joyful. I am embracing my joy. You see what I'm saying? If you're a person who suffers from depression, if you're a person who's, again, like I said, it's unique to you. I'm just giving you some examples. I'm a business person, and I'm an entrepreneur. That's what I do. I'm in the Wall Street business. So those are my affirmations. I'm manifesting $1 million by June 2020, right? And I'll repeat that over and over. What you're doing is you're hacking into your subconscious mind, and you're actually sowing the seed into the subconscious mind that I am, right? I, first person, am, which is a participle of the verb to be, right? I am. So you are existing in that state. It's present tense. Never use past tense. I will be. That's future. Don't do that. So you never want to use future or past tense. You want to use present tense affirmations, and that will put what you're actually doing is tricking your subconscious mind into believing that you have what you're talking about. I am manifesting $1 million. So you're actually putting in your subconscious mind that this is happening right now in the present tense. I am. So that okay. So we got that covered. But here's what you need to be aware of. Once you start to do the I am, once you start to do your meditation and your mantras or whatever, be aware of what I like to call the monkey mind. Oh yeah, the monkey mind. I want you to imagine 100 monkeys or 50 monkeys in a jungle in their habitat, and they're all just jumping all around. They're just randomly jumping all around. There's no order. There's no organization. There's no goal. There's no aim. They're just randomly, spontaneously, sporadically, just all jumping all from trees to trees from trees. Well, that's how your mind, that's what's going to happen with your mind. Hold on. That's what's going to happen with your mind immediately. The minute you start to meditate, your thoughts are going to start jumping all around. Don't be startled. That's expected, especially as a novice, a brand new student to the arts of meditation. Your thoughts are going to go nuts. I mean, your thoughts are going to go berserk. Your mind is going to go into overdrive. Monkey mind is going to take over, and you're going to want to quit. Yeah, I almost promise you this. If this is your first time doing meditation, you won't even make it through the first 5 minutes. You won't even make it through the first minute. I can almost guarantee you will not make it through the first 60 seconds. If this is your first time, it is going to be extremely difficult to make it through the first 60, 120 seconds, 2 minutes. But here is the trick. Ready? You have to learn, you have to know to disassociate yourself from the monkey mind, from the thoughts. You have to understand the I, which is you, the being, that you, the being, is disidentified, disassembled, disassociated from the thoughts. So you have to separate yourself from the thoughts. While in meditation, you have to be what's called a conscious observer. You have to watch the thinker. In other words, you, the person, the being, have to be consciously aware of yourself. And that's going to be tricky. That's where it gets really kind of like, and mysticism, right? You have to understand the mystiques of this. This thing is heavy. When you can disidentify yourself, the being, from your thinking, the thoughts, you have just transcended. You have just went above and beyond. You have just went into the next level of your meditation. That's going to take time because there's something called propensity pull, which just means a natural inclination of your mind to go into certain realms, certain places. If you're new to this, that propensity pull is going to be extremely gravitational. So the minute you start to meditate, your mind is going to be pulled, propensity pull. It's going to gravitate to what you had for lunch, what you did at work, the last conversation you had with your boyfriend, the last argument you had with your girlfriend, the last movie you watched. The propensity pull, it's naturally going to go towards what you are comfortable with thinking on a daily basis. Your familiar thoughts, right? We all have familiar thoughts. There are those random thoughts that we have, and then there is the pattern. A pattern of thinking that we're familiar with, that we're comfortable with. It's not wrong, it's not right, it just is. And you have to be conscious of that's called the propensity pull. You have to be conscious of your propensities to be pulled and gravitate to a certain way of thinking. If you're not, you're going to be immediately drawn. And so what you have to do is keep in mind, you have to keep in the center of your mind your mantra or your affirmation. This is why it's important to have an affirmation. Think of the affirmation like a compass with a ship in the ocean. If you don't, the compass is going to keep you on your path, keep you straight. The compass is your guide, right? You know where you have to go. The waters will drag you in so many different directions, but as long as you keep focused on the direction of where you need to go, it's going to keep you straight on the narrow. That's what your mantra or your affirmation, you have to have your affirmation centered, right? The propensity pull is going to pull you off all different courses, the monkey mind. And what you have to do is be conscious, raise your awareness, become fully immersed in consciousness, and always, without exception, do not get mad, because that will happen. Do not get angry when the monkey mind starts to pull you in all different propensities. Do not get upset. Do not get discouraged. Here's what we need to do. Inhale, breathe while in meditation, and you feel it. You feel the pull. Inhale, exhale, and bring your mind back to your affirmation. Say, you might even want to do what I do sometimes. Say to yourself, I see you. Acknowledge the monkey mind. Acknowledge the sporadic thinking. Acknowledge the variety, the myriad of thoughts, their frequencies. Acknowledge them. Say, I see you. I'm aware. Now I'm going to get back to my affirmation, which is your compass, your guide. You can call it your anchor. An anchor is what keeps a ship from drifting off afar. That's a better analogy. An anchor keeps the ship from drifting off. Well, your affirmation is your anchor. Your mind is the ocean, and it's going to try to drag you all over the place. But your affirmation is your anchor. And as long as you have to be able to acknowledge the propensities, the pulls. Acknowledge them. Don't fight with the thoughts. Don't try to, well, I'm not going to think. No, the minute you engage with the thought, you're losing. The thoughts are winning because they're pulling you away from your affirmation. Or while you're in meditation, the only thing that you should be focusing on is your affirmation. Any other thoughts that you're having, that means they're winning. Those thoughts are winning. They're pulling you away from the anchor, which is your affirmation. Now, the thoughts are going to be extremely subtle, and they're going to be extremely alluring and enticing. This is why it is vitally important that while in meditation, you have to be conscious that you're in your meditation. You have to be fully cognizant, fully present. It's called presence of mind. You have to be fully present, fully conscious that you're and fully engaged in the now. You can't, it's going to be so subtle to pull you in thoughts into the future, pull you in thoughts into the past. But you have to consciously bring yourself back to the now, the present. And this is where the anchor analogy comes in. The affirmation is your anchor. And if you find yourself not repeating your affirmation, you're being drifted, you're being pulled. So try to employ this method, this technique in your life. It will yield you great benefits. It is a journey, and like any journey, every journey begins with the first step. And I hope that you would take some of what I say here today. Hopefully you can employ it into your life, and you'll see the wonders on your overall being, your health, psychological health, your mental health. And that's it. Till next time. Y'all know what I do. I cook books, bring info. If you like this video, leave a comment, share it, whatever. Till next time. Peace.